I have two sets of wires to my present thermostat. Each set has a white and blue wire. How do I connect to my new Honeywell RTH221B? Thought I had wires correctly marked, but furnace starts up with new thermostat in off position.
Please do not rate me until we have finished our dialogue, and you can rate me as excellent service. Please provide all information I ask for, as I am not on site and you become my eyes and ears. Although many things can be solved with an internet chat, sometimes things may become more complicated involving voltage readings, etc. If you are not equipped to perform these tests, the ability to work through to a solution may not be possible. We always recommend all work be performed by a licensed professional. Tell me which wire is on what terminal and also the terminal it corresponds to in the basement on the furnace, please.
White wire is on Y, blue wire is on R. There are not any wires connected to thermostat at this time. I neglected to mention, I'm sure you know. I also have AC.
I need you to trace each of these wires down to where they connect at your furnace and let me know terminal each wire is on. This is pretty much the only way we can do it since they didn't use the standard colors.
TM, appreciate where we need to go with this. Like to keep this open for now, as I am without assistance for a couple of hours. I will do what I can, but need someone on the other end. Don't want to lose wires in wall. Do I also need to check on AC unit?
I just need to know where each wire goes, to what terminal on the furnace. It's going to be more confusing with two sets of whites and blues. This is why there is a standard set of colors used on an HVAC system: red for R, white for W, yellow for Y, and green for G. This way there's no guessing or tracing wires out. I have never understood why some homes are done this way. My guess is years ago you had heat only and so only had two wires. Then later, AC was added. The other option would be to use the old wires to pull through a new thermostat bundle of wires. But sometimes these wires are stapled to the studs, and that doesn't make it easy to do that. Once we identify where each of the wires goes, we can place them on the correct terminals at the stat.
Two sets of white and blue wires can only locate one set at furnace. Does other set connected AC unit?
You need at least 3 wires at your furnace. The red or 24-volt hot, the white for your heat, and what would be the equivalent of your green that would control the fan. One of them may go directly to the wire that goes to the outdoor unit, that would be the same as your yellow. Tim H 41419.8946143519.
Hope this helps, as connected at furnace CW or YG wires red, white, blue, 2 whites red.
So red to C, white to W, blue to R. I'm still not understanding. We need to know which wire goes to R at your furnace, and that same wire will connect to R at the new thermostat. I need to know which wire connects to W at the furnace, and that same wire will connect to W at the new thermostat. We won't use the C terminal either at the stat or at the furnace. I need to know which wire connects to Y at the furnace, or this may connect to a wire that goes directly out to the outside unit, and this same wire will connect to Y at the new thermostat. And finally, I need to know which wire connects to G at the furnace, and this same wire will connect to G at the new thermostat. It's really very simple, with the exception of C, which we won't use. All wires will match the terminals at the furnace with the ones at the stat. What makes it confusing is that we are using 2 of the same color wires, and this is where you will have to do some legwork figuring out which is which, as I'm not there.
Hi Tim, sorry, it was a busy weekend. Here is what I have. At the furnace I have a blue wire connected to the R terminal and a white wire connected to the W terminal. In your previous note, you had said that the R terminal on the furnace needs to be connected to the R terminal on the thermostat. I have two terminals, RC and RH, does it matter which one? At the furnace, I have red connected to the G terminal, white connected to the Y terminal. At the furnace, I have a red wire on the C terminal, which we don't touch, and a white wire on the Y terminal. I have two whites connected by MAR connector and a red and a blue connected by MAR connector. Hope this makes sense. Let me know. Thanks, Tim.
You should connect RC and RH together and put one wire on either one of these, doesn't matter since they're connected together. I understand what you have at the furnace, now you need to trace each of those wires up to the location of the stat and connect the same wires there. Since you have two whites, one on W and one on Y at the furnace, you need to identify which one is which and put them on the corresponding terminals at the stat. I would switch around the red and the blue to keep things a little more uniform. Put the red on R at the furnace and on R at the stat. And then put the blue on G at the furnace and at the stat. Don't use the common, shouldn't need it. Make sure power is off while doing any wiring.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert, now visit justanswer.com/YTHI.